Let's take a look at how Vexata's storage system empowers SQL Server as an analytics platform. The first challenge for analytics is not merely the amount of data being created, but the growth of active data being generated. About half of new data is considered to be at least potentially critical and needs to be readily accessible for processing. Second, the number of users and use cases for processing this critical data is also growing. So what does this mean for analytic platform architects? Processing greater amounts of data requires faster data motion. Whether it's due to data migrations, imports from backups, index maintenance, or query processing, analytics platforms will need more bandwidth for storage to keep up. Vexata created a storage system to deliver exactly what is needed for next-gen platforms, featuring massive bandwidths and a scale-out architecture that grows with your data. It is built from off-the-shelf components to minimize costs and uses standard storage interfaces managed by Vexata's VXOS software. Today's all-flash storage arrays utilize technology that was developed for hard drives. This encumbers the native performance available from flash, yielding restricted bandwidths and spiky I/O latencies. With the CPU power of modern servers, many analytics platforms are simply data-starved. With a hardware offloaded data layer in Vexata's VXOS, the same flash media is fully performant. This increases the storage bandwidth of a server by 5 to 10x, allowing your existing investment to use all of its processing power. With an available bandwidth of 60 to 80 gigabytes per second, the Vexata storage system has the headroom for unprecedented scalability at a cost-effective price point. Vexata's storage system also works well with mixed workloads. Whether it's data migrations, ETLs, index maintenance, or backups, query data remains just as accessible during heavy write activity without suffering from read-write blocking. Here, a dual-socket SQL Server is accessing Vexata storage with 36 gigabytes per second of mixed workload. That's 25 from reads, 11 from writes. Let's see this performance in action. To simulate an analytics platform, we've created a 1 terabyte SQL Server database named HTAP. We've set the SQL Server up to use only 32 gigabytes of RAM to make sure the query data comes entirely from storage. The server has dual-socket Skylake CPUs, each with 18 cores, for a total of 72 virtual CPU cores. Vexata's solution team created a SQL Server performance toolkit that runs different types of database workloads. In this case, we'll launch 48 threads that will call stored procedures designed to grind through data and generate analytic aggregates. The key measurement for analytics is read bandwidth. Using Performance Monitor, the storage read bandwidth used by SQL Server is shown with the disk read stat given in bytes per second. After starting up the workload, note the read bandwidth jumped to 23 gigabytes per second. This is what a single SQL Server is capable of when properly enabled. At this throughput, the CPU utilization is hovering in the 80% range, leaving plenty of processing available for more intensive calculations. Now let's add a second server to the Vexata storage system and start up the same workload on a similar database, as you do when distributing analytic workloads over multiple always-on nodes. We've put the Vexata GUI at the bottom and the perf monitor of each server at the top. In the bandwidth chart at the upper right of Vexata's GUI, it's showing the load step of the second server starting up, and the read bandwidth jumped from 23 to 46 gigabytes per second. Since Vexata's storage system doesn't rely upon caching to achieve performance, this throughput is sustained under any combination of large or small I/O requests, with any random data access pattern. So what does this mean for analytics platforms? At 23 gigabytes per second from a SQL Server, Vexata accelerates analytic performance with a scale-out storage system that's cost-effectively built from off-the-shelf components. It will optimize your hardware productivity, and thus your software licensing costs as well. Thanks for watching. Visit us at vexata.com to learn more.